I'm getting so many personal on my little burnout. Happy Mother's Day and nice. Thank you, everybody. This was, I don't know what time. I know what time I did it, but I'm uploading stuff later. Because I should be about finished icing the cake about now. I put the cake in first, did the cupcakes second. But, you know, when you're doing it in big portions, like if you're doing homemade, you got to calculate, you know, with this buttercream frosting. If I was just doing something simple like cupcakes, I would just do the one recipe, you know. But this is the part I really hate, but I don't hate. I mean, I love my kit. I don't love it more than God, but I like, really, this is a big convenience when you have a stand-up mixer. There's a lot of stand-up mixers out there. There's another one that's just as good, but Proctor Silex, like I said, is a Cadillac. I mean, KitchenAid. Why I say Proctor? KitchenAid is the Cadillac of mixers. I mean, it is a joke. A Kirby vacuum and a KitchenAid mixer will last longer than you will. Your great-great-grandkids will still use them, you know? That's how long they last. They may need a little servicing. KitchenAid mixer, if it breaks down, it's best you just get a new one, but I've never heard of one breaking down. People, it's been passed on, still in good condition. But a lot of people shy away from it because of the price. But if you're baking a lot, or if you're baking for a living, you know, I bake in my spare time. But it's really good money if I dedicate it. But it's not enough for me to open a bakery, you know what I'm saying? But it's a nice little side hustle. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to always have something to do, be able to do to make money. So I love making money. And I just love baking. I like to see people enjoy my food. Now look. I had to triple the recipe for buttercream frosting because there's powdered sugar, there's butter, there's your extracts, which is flavoring, as some people call it, and there's your milk and powdered sugar. I had to do for one recipe, for just like if I'm just doing a standard ice a cake, it's a regular cake. It would just be the recipe would call for 4 cups of powdered sugar. So imagine I'm doing a sheet cake and cupcakes. I had to triple the recipe. And and I had to sift the powdered sugar. You say, why you got to sift it? Because you have to. It's like, if it say pre-sifted flour, I only use Swan's down. My mother taught me still sift it. So my sifter right now is soaking. Because I did the cake, I did the cupcakes. I measured everything out, and I got a lot of big bowls. Now this is one of my other big bowls. I'm still, look how big this bowl is. I'm still not finished putting this in. I got to continually add this as it goes. But I've tripled my extracts. I already did that. The only thing I haven't added is my milk yet. That's going to come last. And look, this is still not finished. Uh-oh, right, Donna? You done left the doggone spatula. Look, left the spatula in there. I have, like I said, I have many, but I love using this little thin one. I got a bunch of these, but this is my favorite thin one. I got metal ones or whatever. And when you're making buttercream frosting, it's nothing like it in the world. I got 2 recipes for buttercream frosting. One without the Crisco. I use only Crisco. Now that I don't skimp. I use Crisco shortening. I don't use the butter kind because it's buttercream frosting, but it would tinge my icing, which is white, and then anything I want to tint it or keep it white, it'll stay white. So I don't use the butter Crisco. I use the regular Crisco. You can use any shortening you like, but I just, for quality, when it comes to my cakes, that's when and some things I don't stench on and spare. That's why people, like, when I charge them, they be like, for a cake, we'll go to the bakery. And I know for a fact I've been to the bakery and seen people bring in the shipments, and they have big, huge sacks of cake flour. It'll say white, yellow, chocolate, and all the while I thought, because if you're a baker, I'm thinking you did it from scratch. People are using box, except in the big bags, like bigger than it's like 60 or 70, 80 pound bags of cake mix in large quantities. I've seen the shipment early in the morning when I used to be like, whoa, this is when I was lazy in my early 20s about making my own cake. It was just coming out of the box. I'm not putting nobody down. Everybody's just like everybody, not a baker. They're not a landscaper or a painter. You do what you would like to do. It could be hair. It could be coordinating clothes, stylist, whatever you like to do, or just doing nothing, talking crazy on YouTube. You do what you do. But me, I love to bake. And it's good therapy for me too. I love to bake. I see why my mother would just get lost in her realm, of baking. Because it's, and it's nothing like seeing people enjoy what you cook. I'm clean with it. You come to my house, you see she's clean. Her kitchen is clean. There's no little bugaboos running around, rodents, or whatever. Like I'm gonna get a napkin just to lay my spatula down on the counter. And my counters are sanitized. But that's just how I roll. But I got my hand on this phone, but right now I'm not touching anything that needs to go into the, except doing this. I'm gonna put it on the lowest speed possible. Because I gotta add this was the recipe itself that I use. Wow. The shortening, I had to triple that. So it's a half a cup of Crisco. So I had to put 1.5 cups because I'm tripling my recipe for buttercream. Because that's for cupcakes as well as a sheet cake. And it's gonna be enough. And I got this is a big slot. This is a big pre-sifted for me bowl of powdered sugar. And I'm going to have to stop in between and keep using my spatula and scraping the sides and make sure everything gets, mixed in well. I haven't forgot about the, you probably did, is it Kiki? I haven't forgot about the red velvet cupcakes. I see I can do it. I thought it was going to be too much. But I can do it and hold the phone. But it's just in between being a clean cook. You got to, you're touching your phone. I keep my phone sanitized with alcohol, the screen and stuff, but it's still in between. You got to keep washing your hands. And that's another thing. You keep washing your hands. That's why I like paper towel when I'm baking. I go through a lot of paper towel because I'm not going to be using a dish towel. If I use a dish towel that I use to dry dishes with, it's a clean one out the drawer, and it's just to keep wiping my hands on. And then I'm going to put it in the dirty clothes hamper when I'm finished. I'm not going to use it to dry it on dishes with, because it's just a matter of being hygienic and, safe food handling practices. You don't want to make nobody sick. You don't want a reputation. And then especially when you're not licensed, that's you can really get sued for that. Now those eggs I bought from Dollar Tree, yeah, my husband ate them for breakfast, but I only use large eggs. The cakes I do, pound cakes, it's like you only use large eggs, room temperature eggs, room temperature butter. Now butter, it can be any brand. It could be Save-A-Lot, long as it says salted butter. Unless you got a recipe that tells you to get the unsalted, or you're doing like wedding cakes and stuff like that. Of course, you have to go to the specialty, to the baking supplies, and get the white butter. It has to be white butter. You'd be like, why? Well, yellow butter went in this, but look at the frostiness. And I have not done. The last thing I got to add, when everything is mixed in, corporately, I'm gonna tint my frosting, and then I'm gonna take out a little bit first for the border. For the border that goes around the top of the cake, and for the border and for the writing, for the piping, for the writing that says Happy Mother's Day, and for the border on the top of the cake, and for the border on the bottom of the cake. That pink, I want it to be a deeper pink. Probably maybe like a fuchsia. Everything is going to tie in together with my decoration. That's the vision I have. I get it in my head, and that's what I do. That's, when I'm doing a theme. And if only they knew how fresh this cake was, because I said, oh, but you know what? I fooled around and I wasn't supposed to see the baby at church. I had to go see my grandbaby. I'm sorry. I'm a junkie for grandbaby. And I have to go see my grandbaby, so. But ain't nothing like it. It was time well spent. I did get some rest, though. Came home, took a shower, put on something comfortable, and got in the kitchen and got to switching. So now, okay, look, I still got a whole much more to go. This is, like I said, 4 cups of powdered sugar per buttercream frosting. Like I said, it was just for a cake. It still takes 4 cups of powdered sugar. It's going to take a teaspoon of clear vanilla. And then I add a little extra extract. That's my secret, that I add another extra flavor. And it's mine. I don't tell my secrets too much. Nothing bad. It's just up against people. I like to hear people go, oh my God, it was so good. But this basic recipe, is like half a cup of solid vegetable shortening, half a cup, which is 1 stick of butter or margarine. I don't use margarine. I don't even bother. I use real butter. I don't care what brand, long as it's butter. Now that I don't care. But when it comes to shortening, vegetable shortening, you can use any brand, off brand. I'm not putting it down, Save-A-Lot, whatever. Walmart brand, but I use Crisco. I only trust Crisco. My mother taught me that, and I just feel that way too. But look, whether you use Domino's, not powdered sugar, it can be Domino's, which is more expensive unless you get a really good deal or sale on it. But you can go to Save-A-Lot, get the powdered sugar, because it's all powdered sugar. I'm telling you, it's going to turn. I've done them all. They've done this, turn out the same. But this recipe calls for 4 cups for just, if it was just for one item, one cake, or just a small, you know what I'm saying? It still requires 4 cups. So that meant, think about it. I tripled the recipe. So how many cups did I use? 4 plus 4 plus 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. Plus another 4, that's 12. So I had to use 4 cups of powdered sugar to triple this recipe to have enough for the cupcakes, enough for the piping, which is Happy Mother's Day, enough for the border, which is I'm going to tint a different color, but a different variation of pink. And then the cake is going to be pink, but like I said, the border would be darker. And 2 tablespoons of milk. 2 tablespoons of milk. I haven't added yet. I'm waiting until I get everything incorporated first. I got to scrape the sides, and then I got to add 6 tablespoons of milk. So that's the thing. Now you got to keep up with it in your mind what you're doing. If not, write it down. Like, I just added this, I just did this and that. And of course you don't use eggs and frosting. Where's the spatula? Okay, my spatula's right here. Okay. That's the garbage right there piling up. I got, when you're baking it, that came from a lot of stuff. Went shopping and putting stuff in there, and then I probably won't even wake him up. I'll take it and put it in the dumpster. But I'm scraping the sides because I don't like garbage. I don't like garbage accumulate, especially after baking. Eggshells, I put them down in the garbage disposable because it's supposed to be good for your garbage disposable for some odd reason. But I do like to bleach my garbage disposal and keep the odors down. And I put baking soda and vinegar down there. Because if you got a dishwasher and you wonder why you got this bad odor, like some of these the newer washing machines they make, and you have to use a certain type of Tide or something, because it's some type of bacteria that, and like my niece told me about it, because she has that, the designer kind, it's burgundy, and the designer color of her choice. And I got to thinking, like, what is this odor? And I just heard it in my spirit. It's like it's stemming from your dishwasher. I said, but how? If you got a dishwasher, how it connects and you can hear it. And sometimes you can hear the water running through your double. If you got a double sink, you can hear it through the drains. And I saw a video about I love to read about stuff about sanitizing and keeping stuff clean. So I just got the idea. I said, you know what? Something's not right. And then I had my friend of mine said, oh, I had that problem. I went to Lowe's and got that. That didn't help. It was like underneath the garbage disposal. Nothing was leaking. I don't put meat, whole things down there. Like people put whole dinners down there. I'll do eggshells to keep it, say that helps it or something. But I always disinfect with bleach. And I sanitize the sinks. But bleach will kill odors. But it was an odor. And I'm like, where is this odor coming from? It wasn't in the dishwasher. It wasn't coming from the drain. When I'm getting garbage bags and wastebasket liners, I'm like, what is this? And it's only happened to that one dishwasher on this level. So what I did, what I learned, I said, what? It can't hurt anything. I took a whole box of baking soda. I put half on each side of the sink. And I took a whole gallon because I buy my vinegar. Vinegar, it doesn't matter. It could be any brand. I buy no-name brand vinegar because white vinegar, I use it to soak my chicken. And it also, vinegar tenderizes meat, and it also draws the blood out of food. And it's really good. And it does, it takes that slimy. You can clean your chicken and get all the little, like you popping black kids out the chicken, but it does something for that other stuff on it. After you done cleaned your chicken real good, you just rinse it off, and then you season it. And it's really good. But anyway, the sloppy barbecue chicken, my husband is like, the old saying be like, it's so good I can slap you. I said, what? You always feel like you said, what's that? He said, baby, this chicken was so good, it fell off the bone. I said, well, probably because of the vinegar. He said, nah, the way you season it. Well, it's all in your hand of seasoning. You can't overdo it, whatever. And I try to season more with less salt. Why you going to use Lowry salt, then sea salt, and then regular salt, and then garlic salt? That's too much salt. So I'll do garlic powder. If I do a Lowry seasoning salt, I'll just use that. I'm not going to use no more salt. I'm not going to use no garlic salt because I'm using garlic powder. Onion powder. I glazed it. I did a barbecue sauce with some honey in it. I mixed it up in a bowl, and that was what I used. And then and while I was baking in the oven, I kept, taking just like keeping it like a glaze, because when it baked down, it was like a glaze when it got finished. It was a lot, but it cooked down, so more was at the bottom of the pan. Pans are soaking clean already. I've been in the dishwasher, had to soak them, and then clean it because I put them in a broaster. And he really enjoyed his dinner. He really did. I said, yeah, because I'm going to enjoy Mother's Day. I don't know what they got planned, but they said, I told my son, I said, y'all already doing stuff. He got his pregnant sister out there with him. Out there shopping. Mama, what size you wear again? I said, look, I don't like you buying me clothes. I said, you get me the money. If not, I don't need none. I said, because your stepdad already gave me some outfits and stuff. I said, that's all good. And I said, I just went shopping, the other week for myself too. He's like,